Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today you join me in Wigg Island, a place in Runcorn. Now it's situated on the River Mersey, this place, and it's a place I tend to come to when I'm doing a lot of test shots. I did a review here of the D810, I've come here when I've bought new lenses and stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, is to test out the new lens. I've bought a 14-24. So I've been umming and ahhing whether to buy a 14-24mm for a number of years now, and the reason why I've bought it is because I've been using the iPhone Pro quite a lot when we've been going out for walks, myself and Sarah, and whenever I use it, it's got the three cameras. You've got the zoom, you've got the normal camera, and then you've got the wide angle, and I've been using the wide angle on the phone quite a lot. So I thought it's probably time to invest in this lens and sort of see what it's all about on wide angle lens on a DSLR. This is the widest I've ever bought. When I had my D7200, I had an 18-24, but obviously with the crop sensor that came in at 26mm. So yeah, a 14mm is probably the widest I've got. This adds to the family. What I've now got is 14-24, 24-70, and a 70-200, all f2.8. So they're all quite good lenses. So it'll be interesting to see what we can get from this lens today, and that's what I'm going to test. So yeah, come and join me. We'll see what we can get. So as hardened landscape photographers, you know, venture out in all sorts of weathers: snow, ice, rain. Not this one though. No, I'm staying well and truly in here. Just gone to get out the car and it's absolutely teamed down. A load of winds coming across, a load of rain, driving rain. So seeing us just by the car, I thought, no, forget it. I'll retreat in the car for a few minutes and just sort of wait for this to pass. When I left the house before, it was brilliant sunshine. It's actually quite warm. Yeah, not now. Whole different story. And I think that's going to be the key today. It's going to be interchangeable all day. I can hardly see the bridge in the distance now because of the rain cloud that's come across. Right, ready for take two. So the aim of today was to come out and sort of test the 14-24. I think if I start shooting in this, all you're going to do is get wide angles of grey and miserable, damp, horrible weather. Ugh. It was lovely when I left. There was drama in the sky. In fact, when I drove over the bridge coming into here, the bridge was lit up with the dark, moody sky behind. I thought, yeah, this is going to be an afternoon of success. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Still, we'll see what we can get, and you never know, fingers crossed. I've been in these situations before where the weather's just changed quite quickly, but yeah, I don't think this is going to happen today. We'll see what we get. So what I've got now is the full range, 14 all the way up to 200mm with the three lenses. Now the only problem is, because they're all f2.8, they are really heavy. But I think you've just got to be disciplined in what you actually take with you, what you actually need for each of the shoots. Now you never really know when you go out hiking, walking, or get out doing a vlog, whether what you're going to need, weather conditions dictate really, I suppose, and the landscape. If it's somewhere you've never been before, you can guarantee as soon as you get there you'll rock up and think, I should have brought the 7200 or should have brought the 14. You never know what sort of angle you want to shoot at, but I think discipline is quite a good thing to work on, just sort of understand what you really want. It reminds me of when I used to when I first passed my driving test, and I used to take tapes and CDs out with me when I used to go driving, and I was always quite disciplined of what music I wanted to listen to. Well, the same applies now. I've got to be quite disciplined with what lenses I take. My bag will fit 2 of the lenses in, 3 at a push, but with the weight of it, no, it's something I don't really fancy carrying around. Even though it's dark, miserable, grey, yeah, probably the worst conditions to shoot in. The colours of the leaves on the trees are absolutely amazing, certainly since the water's hit. So yeah, probably focus on that and see what I can get around here. Now I'm just underneath the new Gateway Bridge, or just approaching it now. So I'm going to see what shots I can get from around here. It's only with the 14mm on. Right, come and join me, let's see what we can get. So I just set up for the last shot then, and as soon as I got the camera out, another band of rain came across, absolutely drenched everything. So dried it all off, put it back in the bag. Now in the distance there's a little break of cloud, so or a little break in the cloud. So I'm just going to head back to my original location and shoot from there. I tell you, landscape photography, why the hell do we do it? It half bankrupts you. You've got to run around like a loon in bad weather conditions, and to really get that decent sunset or sunrise, you've got to be up at stupid o'clock, home at stupid o'clock. Knackers your family life. If you're thinking about doing landscape photography, don't. Take up sewing or painting or something, it's much easier. So the weather's actually turned quite a lot. You can probably tell by that last time lapse I've just done. There's a break in the clouds. There's actually blue skies over to my right there. So yeah, hopefully there could be a bit of a sunset here, which will be an absolute bonus if there is. So far I've taken a couple of shots with this lens just to sort of see what it can do, and just handheld, just running around whilst I was doing that time lapse. And I've got to say, it's a lot wider than I thought it was going to be. Normally when you buy these things you think, oh yeah, it'll be a bit wider than 24, but that 10mm really does open up the shot a lot more. So just trying to get my head around that, just sort of trying to understand actually what this lens can do. There will be a full review on this lens, hopefully tomorrow, providing the weather's okay. I'm going to head across to Lady Bower and do a few shots around there. I think that will be quite spectacular, certainly with the autumnal colours that are across the area at the moment. It should be quite good. That said, unless that wind's blowing all the leaves off the trees. But so yeah, hopefully Lady Bower tomorrow, and there'll be a full review on this lens there. So what I'm going to do today is just continue having a play with the lens, just sort of see what I can get, and yeah, like I say, hopefully there will be a sunset, and if there is, it'll be an absolute bonus. So one of the reasons why I've done a video today is sort of just explain what's been going on with the channel over the past couple of weeks. I've had a couple of weeks off from work, which has been absolutely fantastic and well deserved, just before the build up to Christmas starts. Now, one of the things I was going to do is do plenty of vlogs, plenty of bits and pieces for the channel, but I didn't. I wanted to do photography, and just photography alone. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a bit of a break. It's been 2 weeks since I did the last vlog from Bamford Edge, and whilst I was there, it was just a bit, when you're doing these videos, it's difficult. You sort of come to a location, you've got to understand what you're going to do with the video, what you're going to talk about, and how you're going to process the whole video, then take the images, process the images, and before you know it, you're a full day at a location. And what I've been doing is just sort of going out for days out, just shooting a few different shots, and it's been fantastic. It's been a welcomed break, actually, just going out and actually going back to the basics of photography. A few times I've not even bothered taking the tripod. I've just gone handheld and just blasted a few shots off, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's really given me a bit of a boost in my photography again, just to sort of stand back from it quite a lot and actually just understand actually why we do photography, why we do landscape photography, and what I'm looking for in an image. I found that a lot of my images were getting very much the same, so I challenged myself over the past couple of weeks, and I feel that I've walked away a better photographer. Whether the proof is in the pudding, I don't know. We'll sort of review that as we go along, but it's something that I really need to do. Leave the vlogging camera at home, no more videos for a couple of weeks, and just sort of take some time for myself and just go out and do some photography, because that's what it's all about. So when I started this channel, it was always going to be secondary to my photography, and slowly and surely it's overtaken, it's become the priority, and that's really what I wanted to do, just sort of rein it in and just spend a couple of weeks just doing photography. But yeah, back on now. We'll see what other videos we can come up with, but it will always be photography will be the main, or certainly the most important part of my pastime. They're both hobbies, they're both things I really enjoy, and yeah, but that's not to say that the YouTube channel is going to buckle and fall like a lot of other YouTube channels have done recently. No, still enjoy it, still love doing the video. It's just I needed a bit of a break and just go back to basics with my photography. Right, we're going to head back now. Probably have a bit of a snack, and then see what the weather delivers in the next hour or so. Join me in a bit. Honestly, you'd think it was a different day. It's absolutely glorious out here now. The only problem is, because I got wet first thing, I'm absolutely sodden and my coat's wet, and it's just all uncomfortable. Just going to get something to eat now, and then head back off, try and get some sunset shots from the beach. From the beach, that's glamorous. From the bank of the river, and sort of see what I can get from there. But yeah, it's 2 different days in one here. So what I'm going to do is change from my hiking boots into my wellies, and actually head onto the bank of the water and see what I can get from down there. Now, there is an old relic of it. It's an old wreck of a ship that's been there for 100 years, I believe, and it's just sort of right in the sand of the water. I've taken a shot there a few times, but it'd be interesting to see what I can get with this lens. The reason why I bought this 14 to 24 is to get more things within the foreground, and this seems to be one of the lenses that enables you to do that. Another reason is I'm a big fan on pano shots, and I'm hoping that this will eradicate a lot of the pano shots I do. The problem with doing panos is, although you get a massive image within a file, the files are huge, and all it does is just really slow down the computer, and you end up with huge amounts of files, images that you can't really process that well either. Yeah, it's a lot of memory for the results. Sometimes you end up cropping in anyway. So just be interesting to see whether this will actually eradicate the pano shots altogether, or whether I'll still continue to do them. Oh, but I'm so hungry though. This Satsuma tangerine. What's the difference? What's the difference between a Satsuma and a tangerine? Who cares? They all taste good. Excuse me. These are good. You can probably tell by the light on my face that we've got a bit of a burst of light now. So I'm going to finish this off, head down to the water, put my wellies on, and see what we can get. Well, oh, these are too good to resist. Gosh, I should have brought a few more of these. This light's too good as well. Right, let's go. So I've now got what I consider probably the best conditions for landscape photography. Bright sun shining onto dark clouds just behind the bridge, so it's lighting up the bridge quite nicely. So I've just done a couple of shots just on the bank here. Now the problem is it's absolutely silted up like nothing else. I've got my wellies on, it's coming right up on my wellies, and it's a little bit precarious because it's getting more and more sinky. So I'm not going too far down, I'm sort of standing on bricks and stuff. It's a little bit dangerous, but yeah, as you can see, the new Gateway Bridge in the background lit up quite nicely with the dark clouds in the far distance. So I've taken a couple of shots of that now, and I'll show them now. I think it's important to mention that each of these images have been processed through Lightroom and Photoshop. I have done a lens correction through Lightroom as well. However, I've not cropped any of the images, so these images are the same size as they were as they come out of the camera. The only difference is I've colour graded them and also added a slight vignette, something I tend to do with all my images. So the 14 to 24mm, first impressions, well, it's a lot wider than I thought it was going to be, and that probably sounds a little bit daft, but many a time I've bought lenses or bought bits and pieces of equipment and thought they're going to do something they actually didn't. This actually goes beyond what I expected, which is a real bonus. So because I've got the 24 to the 7, what is this? So because I've got the 14 to 24, then the 24 to 70, and then the 70 to 200, it gives me such a wide band of lenses to go through. So it's basically 14 to 200mm on the D810, which is a great way to sort of ensure you've got pretty much covering all bases. Is it a little bit too much? I don't know, only time will tell. One of my main thoughts was to get rid of my 70 to 200. I very rarely use it, I only use it sort of on specialist sort of things. But I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I might keep it. I've probably used it probably a fraction of the time I've used my 24 to 70. So it'll be interesting to see where this sort of fits in on my go-to lenses. I've also got a prime lens, a 50mm as well. So yeah, that's the 4 lenses I've got for my D810. So yeah, time will tell what this is going to be like. So far I'm actually quite impressed with it. Like I say, I've not got them in the computer yet, so yeah, you guys can be a judge on that. But leave a comment if you've got this lens, if you used it, if you had one in the past, or if you're considering on buying one, and if you need any more details on it, let me know. There will be a full in-depth review on actually what it's like. But yeah, so far it's a little bit heavy, but I'm not too bothered with that. I prefer a little bit of weight, just so it's just easier to handle really. The only thing that I'm a little bit curious of is the element on the front. I just don't know if you can see how sort of bulbous that is, and it almost sticks out to the front of the hood. It does come with a lens cap, so I've put that on it as well every time I'm not using it, but there is a risk that the front of that could get scratched. That's my only concern at the minute, but you know, I do tend to look after my gear, so we'll see what happens. I'm just a little bit concerned if it does topple on a tripod on a windy day. If that hits the floor, it's gone. But yeah, that's the only sort of negative I can see at the minute. But yeah, bit of weighty, a little bit meaty. But yeah, so far it gives me that that view I'm looking for. Right, I'm going to take a few more shots and I'll be with you in a bit. Another reason why I bought this lens as well is an interest in architecture, and certainly architectural photography. Now with something so wide, you're not limited on what you can actually get within the shot. So we don't live far away from Chester, so it's only 30 minutes down the road, and what I'd like to do is certainly get some of the old historic buildings there in a probably future vlog, or certainly just head down there and take a few shots, just sort of see what I can get. But yeah, that's probably another main reason why I've got the 14 to 24, just so I can get a lot more within the shot. And yeah, architectural photography, we've got to keep our options open. Right, I'm just heading further down there. I'm not sure how far I'll be able to get because it looks a little bit cut off. I'm not sure if you can see from there, but looks a little bit cut off. But I'm going to see if I can get to one of the banks there. Now I did, I think it was December, a panorama shot across one frosty morning. All this ground here was full of white frost and the sun was just hitting the bridge. Now obviously I'm not going to get that now, it's a different time of the day and also a different time of the year, but it'd be interesting to see if I can actually get as wide a shot, or certainly close to it, with this 14 to 24 on. So yeah, let's have a look, see what we can get. So I'm going to spend the next hour or so just trying to work out another composition, do a couple of shots from here, just as the sun is starting to set. Now, a big bank of cloud is just coming across now in front of the sun, so not sure whether it's going to be the sunset that I've been planning on over the past hour or so. It's been a complete mixed bag of the day with the torrential rain as soon as it got here, high winds, and also it's almost like the end of summer again. So yeah, I'm just going to work a few locations here, sort of see what I can get for the sunset shot, and yeah, just work the 14 to 24mm lens, see what else I can get from it. There will be an updated review on it. There'll be a more in-depth review coming up very shortly. Hopefully I'm going to get to Lady Bow tomorrow, depending on what the weather situation is going to be like. So yeah, there will be more to come. There'll be more to come from the channel, a lot more videos planned, certainly over the next couple of weeks or next few months certainly. So yeah, it's probably time to say bye-bye. So from Wig Island in Runcorn on this mixed bag of a day, time to say goodbye. More images to come. Let me know what you think. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Do the usual bits and pieces that us YouTubers ask you to do, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care now, stay safe, bye bye.